here's the thing. I've been going to God and asking Him for dating advice, right? Because there isn't much dating advice in the Bible. It only talks about marriage, but that's for another video at another time. Point is, I stumbled upon a scripture that I'm going to read and I'm going to share, and I'm curious if anyone has actually read this and gotten this revelation from it. So this is Matthew 19, and it is when the Pharisees were asking Jesus, when is it okay to divorce? Stay with me now because we're going to get to what this means for us who are not married and dating, right? Or wanting to. Some Pharisees approached him to test him. They asked, "Is it lawful for a man to divorce his wife on any grounds?" "Haven't you read," he replied, "that he who created them in the beginning made them male and female? And he also said, for this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and the two will become one flesh. So they are no longer two, but one flesh. Therefore, what God had joined together, let no one separate." So first of all, divorce was never really intended by God. Okay, that's again for another video at another time. So they say, "Why then," they asked him, "did Moses command us to give divorce papers and to send her away?" He told them, "Moses permitted you to divorce your wives because of the hardness of your hearts. But it was not like that from the beginning. I tell you, whoever divorces his wife except for sexual immorality and marries another commits adultery." And there's more and more and more, but I'm going to stop right here because this is enough, right? We get enough information from Jesus himself. Technically, you were only supposed to divorce if there was sexual immorality, right? Like that's grounds for divorce back then. But there was one other, instance that Moses kind of had to, because it wasn't intended by God, right? But Moses kind of had to let this go because otherwise everyone would have been committing adultery probably, right? So he could divorce his wife because of the hardness of his heart. Okay. This is so good. So when two become one, that's super serious, right? So who you are getting to know, who's pursuing you, who's courting you to become one, like that is super serious. And when I read this, the revelation God spoke to me, he said, if Moses allowed them to divorce over hardened hearts, you should probably not let them court you if they have a hardened heart, because if you are married, that's kind of grounds for divorce anyway. So catch what I'm saying. Guys can be confusing, and a lot of times we don't know, if they're playing games or if they're intentional or what's really going on. Actually, if it's from God, you'll know. But I'm just saying, this is for the people out there who are dealing with a lot of confusion and they're not sure if this is a red flag, right? And maybe they should leave, right? Hardened heart is a red flag. Okay, that's what I'm figuring out. A hardened heart is a red flag for dating because it was grounds for divorce back in the Moses days, right? Basically, if they have a red flag, right? Like if they have a red flag and they're stubborn and they're not following God, that's like, don't even date them. Just don't do it to yourself.